Let's talk about employment document. Okay. Now, let's say you are working, let's say at XYZ refinery, or as an engineer somewhere, as a medical doctor. Okay. You're earning good pay, life is all good. Now you want to go to study in Canada, and then over the years you've saved your funds, you've arranged yourself, you've gotten yourself together. This is an investment, and you are taking it, very, very seriously. How to go about it? Okay. Now, before you use that your employment document, there are some specific things that you need to know. Okay. First of all, you need to know what exactly constitutes employment document. Now, there are four major things that should be there. Okay. First is your employment letter, the one that they gave to you when they were hiring you. Okay, so let's say you were being hired, let's say 2001 or so. Okay, the documents they gave to you when they were hiring you. Okay, next is your company introduction letter. So the employment letter they gave to you, that was 2001. Okay, the company introduction letter is the one they are giving to you now, that states that you are still currently working with them as at now, the position that you are occupying as at now, okay, the role and the salary you are receiving as at the present day. That's what the company introduction letter is. Basically, it's you, or it's the company introducing you to the visa officer, to the IRCC. Okay. Next has to be the pay slips. The pay slip shows the amount you are earning, every month, from your place of work. So it carries the amount you are earning, the bonuses, the deductions, the pay as you earn. Okay, the tax you are paying, pay as you earn, and all the other necessary deductions that are being made. That's what you get in the pay slips. Okay, and lastly, you have the work ID. Okay, the work ID carries, your name, your employee number, and all those stuffs like that. So these are the four major things IRCC wants to see when you are presenting, what we call employment document. Now, you have to be very careful, because you must ensure that all your information across all these documents tally. So if your salary in, let's say, your company introduction letter is different from what they are seeing on the pay slips, that is already a very fraudulent error. If your employee number changes, that's already an error. So all your information across all these four documents must ensure that they are okay. Please, I want to use the opportunity to plead with you. Okay, don't ever use falsified documents, or generate anything on your own, and go and submit to IRCC, because they check. IRCC will actually message your employer to say, is this person working here? Okay, or basically what they will do is they are going to get your company pay slips and those documents. They will mail it to your company and say, can you confirm, if these documents are from you? Okay, and confirm the employee status of this person. So that employee document that you created with the salary and everything, you're going to message to them that, is this company actually paying this salary? Is this rule correct? Is this your employee number correct? Confirm this document. And then, if there is any discrepancy, you're most likely going to get a 5-year ban. And, if IRCC bans it, as if Canada bans you, it spreads to, multiple other countries. So just be very, very careful here. Now, there are some salient things that, you need to be very careful, so that you don't make these mistakes when using an employment document. Okay. Now, if you know that, you're enjoying this video, you're getting some very nice information. Okay, just ensure to subscribe, share. Okay, hit that like button. Okay, so just ensure to hit that like button, so that YouTube can do its stuff, share it everywhere. Now, there are some salient points that you must be very careful of. One is that the salary that is being paid to you. So if you are earning, let's say, 245,000 naira, okay, from company, let's say ABC, you must ensure that when IRCC goes to the account, your bank statement, your salary account, to look at it, because you must submit your salary account. You can't just submit, my pay slips and then a bank statement from another place. Even if you have a bank statement in another place, like let's say a savings account, you must carry your savings account along with that your salary account. So your salary account must show you receiving funds from company ABC, and the amount, just as you stated in your pay slip, it has to reflect in your bank statement. The date that it shows on the pay slip, it should be reflecting that also in the bank statement. Okay. 2, salary is rarely ever a round figure. Okay, for my friends that are submitting using employment document, salaries are very rarely a round figure. The reason is because deductions are usually in percentages. Tax, is usually in percentage. So if your salary is, let's say, 300k, and you are paying tax, of, let's say, 15% or 14 point something percent, and then you are paying NHF fund, and all the other deductions. By the time the deductions are coming down, you see that your take home net is usually in naira and kobo. So if your gross pay, that's before tax, is like, let's say, 300k. By the time they do the net and deductions, it will not be that 300k round figure anymore. it will be like, let's say 200 and something thousand, 800 and something naira, something kobo. So that unit, that naira and kobo, you're going to have that element there. So don't put your net, your take home after tax as a, let's say, 300K. You'll be like, how did they arrive at 300K when they have taken deductions and, those percentage deductions for tax, NHF funds, and the rest of them, So you have to be very careful when it comes to that, because one glance, okay, IRCC takes one glance at that document and then they already have some very big question mark. And then, they have to mail it to your company. Even though your company confirms, they may still have some very big question mark. They may say, okay, bring your personal tax plan, because it's not making any sense, okay? Salaries are rarely, I'm not saying that it's not possible, okay, but I'm saying that it's rarely ever a round figure. Those of you that are salary earners, okay, please just to make this thing clear, because I'm sure that the very big argument is going to start about this thing, okay? Please just put in the comment section, okay, if you're a salary earner, okay, and you're earning salary, put in the comment section and tell me if your salary, is a round figure or not. And please, my accountant, I'm going to need it here, okay? Go to the comment section and then put it there, is it a round figure or not? Do you earn like a round figure, like after tax? Do you earn like 300K? Or you earn like, let's say, naira and kobo, like 200 something thousand, 600 something naira, 210 kobo or something like that, okay? So let's have that argument, let's see if salary, is a round figure or not. Now, moving on, okay? Lastly, ensure that if you are using astronomically high salary, okay? So you are saying that, you are, let's say, a fresh secondary school graduate, or let's even use a fresh BSc graduate, sharp guy as you are. And then you are working, let's say somewhere as a cybersecurity analyst or something, or you are working, let's say, as a medical doctor, and then you are putting your salary as 7 million naira, okay? Possibly because you have to defend 80 million naira, and then you are putting that, oh, okay, I'm earning 7 million and then I work for 10 months or whatever, or 2 years or so. The question now IRCC is going to ask is that in a country where the minimum wage is 70,000 naira, here you are, a 3-year-old graduate, that's you graduated school 3 years ago, okay? A 5-year-old, BSc holder, 5-year-old graduate, and you are earning 100 times the minimum wage. I hope you are seeing the connection. I'm not saying that it's not possible, okay? There are people that earn 10 million naira, any amount is possible to be earned. If it's an amount, it's possible that somebody can earn it. But the question there is that, can you defend this if IRCC asks for more additional documentation? So you put that, oh, okay, I'm earning 7 million a month. And IRCC is looking, this is a 22-year-old boy, 25-year-old boy, and he's earning 7 million a month, 100 times the minimum wage, okay? This is not believable, okay? IRCC most likely is going to send you RFE, that's request for additional evidence, okay? They may ask you to bring your personal tax clearance. So they want to see your personal tax clearance, that you are paying taxes and that your personal tax clearance must, show this income that you are earning 7 million a month. So here's a sample of personal tax clearance, okay? It shows you the annual, revenue that this person is making. So if you say you're earning 7 million, IRCC want to see it reflected in that personal tax clearance. So my advice for you is that, don't put in, astronomical figures, okay? Put in what is legit, put in what is fair, put in what you are earning, okay? And avoid falsified documents again, okay? Because using falsified document will just lead to a 5-year street ban, and most likely your chance for traveling out to any of these countries is going to be ruined for a very, very long time, okay? So that's all. If you know that you've enjoyed this video, please just ensure to like, share, subscribe.